Okay, looks like we are live in full effect. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andre Rainey. I'm the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill, New York. Today is May 25th, 2021, and I'm joined with our awesome city manager, Mr. Andy Stewart. Good afternoon, Andy. How you doing?
Great to see you, Mayor. Great to see
Good.
you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. As always, we had a great council meeting last night, so I'm looking forward to sharing some of the stuff that we didn't get to touch on. But for now, let's start like we always do. Let us know where we are at the COVID numbers.
So the COVID numbers are looking good in the city of Peekskill with only 22 active cases. That's down from 30s and 40s over the last couple of weeks. Um, and that's a good thing. And that's testament to the people going out and practicing their mask wearing and also the vaccinations that have been taking place statewide and nationwide. Having said that, our rate for vaccination completion by those over 18 is among the lowest in Westchester County at 39.1% of city residents. That leaves a hefty 60% of folks out there who haven't even had their first shot yet. And we want to reiterate the value of talking to your doctor and going and making use of the multiple ways in which it's easy to get vaccinated these days. I know they're running free vaccinations train rides now down in Grand Central, and there are multiple other places people can go. So obviously the city is posting information about that as it becomes available. And at the same time, there's a lot of reopening going on. The governor's lifted a number of the restrictions on restaurants and public assembly in various ways. The governor's emergency order that allows our council to meet remotely is likely to continue for a while. The council has yet to make a decision as to meeting in person, although we do have ideas about how to do that. We continue to have an attendant at the door for City Hall requiring masks and a health check and a little survey form for contact tracing purposes.
Correct. Yeah.
People absolutely have been able to and can continue to access City Hall services. The clerk is real busy. We just ask people to hit the button on the intercom and let us know you're there and need help.
Beautiful, yeah. And and just to remind people, City Hall has not closed. It's just been we've been asking people to call for appointment or come by appointment only just for the safety of our staff. So City Hall is not closed. If anybody's still worried, concerned, or curious of why
Yeah,
they
we
can't
never,
get in City Hall.
very rarely actually close.
Yeah, yeah. So
The services the city renders really can't be stopped. But a lot of our departments have learned how to work with people more efficiently online through email, phone, and even virtual housing inspections and things like that, which actually are practices that have worked quite well.
and very impressive, by the way, man. Especially in the building department
Mhm.
for their inspections virtual. Interesting. Okay, well, great. Andy, thanks for that update. I just want to move along to the let people know about Pugsley Park. The council decided to vote last night to allow Pugsley Park to be one of the locations to host small events in the city of Peekskill, which is very exciting. I know a lot of people have been talking about the view of Pugsley Park and what it's utilized for, or how underutilized it may be. So the city of Peekskill Common Council agreed just last night to allow small events and activities in Pugsley Park, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, it's an exciting development. It seems long overdue to me, Mayor. And
Yeah.
we had to really look at the deed for that park when the land was conveyed to the city. There were restrictions on active types of sports and things like that, which makes sense because there's windows around that could get broken by flying balls, etc. It's right on Main Street. But for some reason, no one had ever really pressed forward to get social and cultural events scheduled there. So now we've got a number of different applications for some wonderful stuff. The city council has given us approval on a fee schedule for that. And we're super excited about programming that park a little more right on Main
Yeah.
Street.
Absolutely. I know the health center did used to host an event there. I haven't seen it in a couple of years. They used to host an event there that was very, very nice. So
Mhm.
to know that there's going to be more events, I think it's exciting.
Yep,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, so moving right along, the council also voted last night on our 701 Washington Street firehouse. We wrote a letter of support last night, and I know many people have been wondering what we're going to do with the firehouses. We sold one to the school district, which is being utilized as we speak now for
Mhm.
parenting, STEM work and classes and things of that nature. And this one we're looking to turn into a food incubator. So
Yeah, food incubator is basically a leasable commercial kitchen with specialized equipment and also services for business development and training. And
yeah,
the county is very interested in supporting it, actually allocating some staff time to putting together grant applications for funding. And our economic development specialist, Matt Rudikoff, has been pushing for that. And while we're talking about 701 Washington Street, you should mention as well, Mayor, that that the Parks Department has gotten a commitment of $1 million in recreational facility upgrades.
Yes.
That's something very, very exciting that was announced last night at the meeting. And it touches on that site because there's a big lawn there. And our idea is to put in a playing surface there where people can play ball on that lawn.
Yeah. So yeah, we just received $1 million. So we want to thank the Honorable Sandy Gaylor for her efforts, especially Councilman Fernandez for his efforts and his consistency in trying to make that happen. And it's happening now. So it's another grant the city of Peekskill can be proud of. That's going to impact not only our safety of our greens, our green land and our parks, but another impact it's going to have on our children.
Yeah, and there's a number of projects in that grant, which was a rare thing because the state essentially shut down its grant making process for the but luckily between Councilman Fernandez and others, they kind of got their foot in the door, and Sandy Galiff had made a commitment a year or two with the city that needed to be figured out. And so the city got to group people together, including Mark Fetzer, foreman of our parks maintenance crew, and they came up with about 4 or 5 projects that involved a really big upgrade to the Depew Park field there, with the running track being converted over to an all-weather surface, irrigation system, better grass, and so on. Improvements, those clay courts over there, the tennis courts that the city hasn't been able to maintain, will be improved. One of them for pickleball, which is a fabulously popular sport. It's a lot of fun. It's almost like a cross between tennis and like ping pong or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So it's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to on that. And congratulate our staff and city council, and absolutely thank the Assemblywoman for her support. Yeah, it's great. So that is on Washington too.
Yeah, and one of the last thing I wanted to share. Give me a second. It's because people talking.
Just give us a minute, all right?
You could go on your list if you got anything, Andy.
Okay, well, I was going to mention just other items on the city council agenda were a couple of street closures for special events. The car show is coming back to Lower South Street later this month. There's a music festival planned for the fall, and we're getting started working with the partners on that, providing a street closure of Brown Street, right where it crosses in front of the Paramount Theater.
Right.
So the city council approved that closure, but there's a whole permit process going through the clerk's office for a music festival with performances inside the Paramount Theater, inside the Hudson Room, and outdoor free performances on Esther Street. So really an exciting idea that that local residents have proposed.
Exactly. And the last thing I wanted to mention was we had a presentation from Rose Newton of the Housing Action Council last night, which I think is very informative. So I encourage people, if you haven't got a chance to yet, please take a moment out of your time to watch the council meeting from last night. She was discussing a lot of information on affordable housing and the different forms of housing that the city of Peekskill can and maybe even should consider implementing for our future, and also what we have currently and how it impacts us, how it impacts the school district, and how it impacts the everyday working person. So I would definitely encourage people to take a look at the council meeting last night to review some of that stuff that she shared with us last night.
Yeah, she provided a lot of detailed policy guidance. It's a huge undertaking to the city council to go from having no affordable housing policy to having a policy that makes sense for this city,
right,
in the real estate conditions that we're in, and the need out there for affordable housing is so dramatic. So this policy essentially would affect new development of market rate units. This is not development that comes in already affordable or subsidized in some way. It's market rate units where they have to set aside 10% or so of those units at an affordability level, which the policy would dictate. And the city council really has been digging into this for a number of meetings. We're not done yet by any means, but some issues were certainly clarified.
That's it. So there's a lot. There's so much going on in this great city. The last thing I wanted to mention, and I'll be done, Andy, unless you have anything else, is there's going to be a rally held next or this Thursday actually at 6:30 from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. At the Pew Park, and it's a rally for Dory Miller to receive a Medal of Honor. The Black Diamonds in the city of Peekskill have been trying to fight to get her. I shouldn't say fight. Have been advocating to get Dory Miller, a United States veteran, a medal for his his sacrifice during during the war. He was a chef, and he actually went out during the war to help shoot and fight um, people that were attacking the U.S. And as a person who was just a chef to actually take that role on, they've been trying to acknowledge him for his work and efforts for years. And I think this year it may happen for him. So if you want to join us in speaking out and supporting trying to get Mr. Dory Miller a Medal of Honor from the federal government, United States of American president, it'll be from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Pew Park.
Uh-huh. That sounds really exciting.
Yeah, I think so too.
I had a couple of things I want to mention, Mayor. I know you need to jump off in a minute. One is once again, just to reiterate how strongly the city council and myself support our firefighter volunteers, because I know there's been a lot of chatter on social media about a report that will be presented actually to the city council on June 7th regarding the fire department. It's just really important. Anybody who's reading that stuff, go ahead to the city website, download the report, read it for yourself. Nowhere will you see any kind of diminishment of volunteerism. In fact, it's an effort to improve across the board firefighting capability, particularly with regard to volunteer participation rates, which are always welcome and well supported and recognized. So I wanted to say that. Also, just to end on a lighter note, the people may have noticed the flower baskets going up in the business improvement district, hanging on the light poles with the banners and so on. They look really nice. The flowers are just starting to grow. Kudos to our DPW and also to the business improvement district. The flower baskets are really a nice touch. It couldn't get done without that partnership.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Andy, I do have to check out. Do we have any questions that we can answer while I'm still on?
I am looking to see and actually not seeing any right now. Hold on a second. Yeah. I'm not able to actually see any questions. I don't know if you can see any on your Facebook, but they're not appearing on mine right now. If they exist, I apologize for that. Usually I can see people commenting and whatnot, and I'm not seeing that right now.
Okay.
So we do have people looking. So I'm surprised that I don't see the comments coming in. It may be because I don't know how to see them, and they keep changing the Zoom connection on me. So.
All right.
Sure.
Well, listen, no problem. We'll be back again next week. So if anybody missed any questions, they can always reach out to us. So, but thank you all sincerely for tuning in. Andy, thanks for taking time out of your day to give this weekly report. And I look forward to being back next week on Tuesday afternoon.
All right. Take care now.
All right, you too, my man. Thanks again.
Bye.